we go.
There we go.
We're off skate.
Lights out.
Half an hour of racing underway.
Can't stop addicted to the shindig. Chopped up, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not to life of imitation. Distant us into the reservation. The pistol that you pay for. This pump, the feeling that you stay for. In time, I want to be your best friend. Eastside love is living on the west end. Knocked out before you better come to. Don't die, you know the truth is some do. Go ask the dust for any answers. Come back strong with 50 million answers. The world I love, the tears I drop to be part of the wave. Can't stop. Ever wonder if it's all for you?
Here we go.
There we go.
We're off skate.
Lights out.
Half an hour of racing underway.
Can't stop addicted to the shindig. Chopped up, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not to life of imitation. Distant us into the reservation. The pistol that you pay for. This pump, the feeling that you stay for. In time, I want to be your best friend. Eastside love is living on the west end. Knocked out before you better come to. Don't die, you know the truth is some do. Go ask the dust for any answers. Come back strong with 50 million answers. The world I love, the tears I drop to be part of the wave. Can't stop. Ever wonder if it's all for you?
Here we go.
There we go.
We're off skate.
Lights out.
Half an hour of racing underway.
Can't stop addicted to the shindig. Chopped up, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not to life of imitation. Distant us into the reservation. The pistol that you pay for. This pump, the feeling that you stay for. In time, I want to be your best friend. Eastside love is living on the west end. Knocked out before you better come to. Don't die, you know the truth is some do. Go ask the dust for any answers. Come back strong with 50 million answers. The world I love, the tears I drop to be part of the wave. Can't stop. Ever wonder if it's all for you?
Here we go.
There we go.
We're off skate.
Lights out.
Half an hour of racing underway.
Can't stop addicted to the shindig. Chopped up, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not to life of imitation. Distant us into the reservation. The pistol that you pay for. This pump, the feeling that you stay for. In time, I want to be your best friend. Eastside love is living on the west end. Knocked out before you better come to. Don't die, you know the truth is some do. Go ask the dust for any answers. Come back strong with 50 million answers. The world I love, the tears I drop to be part of the wave. Can't stop. Ever wonder if it's all for you?
Here we go.
There we go.
We're off
Lights
skip.
out.
Half an hour of racing underway.
Can't stop addicted to the shindig. Chop chop, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not to like of imitation. This get us into the reservation. The pistol that you pay for. This pump the feeling that you stay for. In time I want to be your best friend. Eastside love is living on the west end. Knocked out before you better come to. Don't die, you know the truth is some do. Go ask the dust for any answers. Come back strong with 50 million answers. The world I love, the tears I've dropped to be part of the wave can't stop. Ever wonder if it's all for you?
Here we go.
There we go.
We're off
Lights
skip.
out.
Half an hour of racing underway.
Can't stop addicted to the shindig. Chop chop, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not to like of imitation. This get us into the reservation. The pistol that you pay for. This pump the feeling that you stay for. In time I want to be your best friend. Eastside love is living on the west end. Knocked out before you better come to. Don't die, you know the truth is some do. Go ask the dust for any answers. Come back strong with 50 million answers. The world I love, the tears I've dropped to be part of the wave can't stop.
Hello everyone, welcome to ACM. We're here at the Brands Hatch circuit for career mode, the British GT Challenge round 1. We're just starting the qualifying now as usually starts his flying lap of the session. So like I said, this is the first round of career mode, the first race of career mode, and super excited to get it underway here at Brands. I think it's going to be an exciting race. We got big grid tonight, so should be lots of action and plenty of racing. So far for USB, fairly clean sector. No major mistakes, keeping it nice and clean and tidy. As he comes up now towards the back straight. New livery for USB actually I've just noticed, and it says no pay to win on it. Harry, what are you thinking?
I cannot confirm or deny whether that's true. Press drive, by the way.
That is true. I forgot to press drive. But yes, nothing is 100% rigged. If it's rigged, it's by complete accident, as we like to say. But yeah, it should be relatively exciting. So far, again, like I said, clean lap for USB. I know he's setting quite good lap times, mid-22s in practice. So hopefully we'll see a very competitive time. Let's find out what his first lap will be. Again, looks really nice lap already. So let's find out as he crosses the line now. It's going to be a 1:23.2, already a very relatively competitive time, with Prior going 1.9 seconds slower than that, and then Mark a further 3 seconds. As the drivers now start to filter in their lap times. Kelly 8/10 within that time. You can already see how much close it was, but there you go. Tamara already second. As I say that, the Lambo goes second, literally less than half a tenth to USB. Obviously only first laps now, but obviously plenty of competition already, and especially for a truck like Brands, it would be important to get the pole position here. Try to keep the lead, as Brands is a relatively small circuit. There is a few opportunities to overtake, but especially if you got a car that's fast in a straight line. I do know we have a Lexus here tonight. It should be relatively easy, but following through some of these corners, especially into sector 3 where most of the corners are blind, it was going to be relatively difficult to follow. But again, all part of the fun, and luckily not driving, so I don't have to make those crashes and mistakes. I get to watch other people do them. As you see, Altosis P4 at the moment, trying a new car. I don't have his livery because he didn't upload it. But in the BMW, I've never seen him drive the BMW. I mean, I've seen him drive all different cars before, but never the M4. So interested to see how he'll get along with that tonight. Obviously a different car for Altosis because obviously in career mode you choose your car with the coins you get and earn. Obviously you start out with 12,500 and it's up to you to make those purchases yourself. Obviously a lot of drivers have gone for the 296, the 720S, the Aston, obviously you got and the Porsche mainly. But obviously you still got a few there. I mean, I've seen a Honda today and a Lexus. But yeah, it's all part of the fun. Obviously make sure you join career mode. It's on the website and it's all there for you. Definitely check it out because obviously like I said, this is round 1. You don't want to miss any more races because the races are going to be just like this. Plenty of people and plenty of action. As we do see as more drivers start to filter in their times. We've got currently top 8 with around a second of pole time. This usually does improve to a 22.9. Already setting the pace now. A relatively good lap. He currently holds all purple sectors at the moment. Relatively clean. Obviously, I know USB is pretty good around here, so it's no surprise really. But again, hopefully we'll get some more of these drivers getting a little bit closer than 0.3 of a second, because that's what the action is all about. There was a car off there, number 50, has he RTGs. But yeah, like I said, there's plenty of cars. It means it's going to be quite difficult for some people to set laps. Altosis is off there. I think a lot of people are starting to come back to the pit lane now to start setting their second laps or second or third laps. But yeah, again, the good thing about this grid at ACM is there's plenty of people, different skill levels. Easily can find your place within the grid. All you have to do is set the lap time and find out where you stand. Obviously you got fast people like USB at the moment, who's currently 0.3 of a second up on everybody else into the 22s, or you know, you could be less experienced and be doing some the lower lap times that we're seeing here today. It's all part of the fun, and you can always join in. There'll always be someone to race at all times, so it's always fun. Actually, I want to check in on the Honda because it's a car I've not seen drive in a long time. Hanzo Voss driving this one, currently P16 and currently half a second up on his lap time. It's definitely a tricky car, that Honda. Probably wants to kill him at every corner possible, but it's great to see some of these older cars making their way through, because it's definitely what career mode's all about. Seeing some of these older gen cars get used a bit more, and as he does lose it. That is a tricky corner, and he's in the middle of the roads. He reverses off, luckily out of everybody's way. Super unfortunate, but was looking good. Definitely has the pace there to set a 123 for him, which could set him all the way up to P10 actually. So relatively competitive. Glad to see that Honda has that pace. We do see though, Tamara has gone quickest, not by much, literally nothing almost, but that Ford obviously relatively competitive, and with minus 40 kilograms it's going to be one of the fastest cars on this track. Obviously minus 40 because that's the way it works in career mode. The more you race your car, the more ballast you get. This is our way of simulating wear. So yeah, it'll be all up to the drivers to manage how they race their cars and all the likes. So I'm interested to see how that Ford gets on, especially now the fact that it's relatively competitive. I say relatively, it's literally going to be one of the fastest cars tonight by far. All this talking and I've missed USB set 22.6, really setting the pace. I know he can go a little bit quicker, I see him in practice, but yeah, I'm sure he'll be happy with that one. that is really competitive, and I think it'll be a struggle for some people to try and match that. I mean, we'll see how some of these get on, because I know the Lambo currently 2 tenths up in their lap time as they exit turn 2. So maybe this could be the lap. Obviously, the Lambo only 4 tenths off on terms of lap time, so he only needs a tenth, pretty much, a tenth and a bit. So could be a lap here for the Lambo as we 5 minutes to go now. We'll go on board with the Lambo actually as we starting to enter sector 3. Oh, a little bit bouncy over the curb there, but still good on the Delta. Still hovering around the 3/10 mark, losing a little bit on the exit of that corner, gains it all back on the exit of this one. I think it's going to be a P2 lap time for the Lambo unless he pulls out a mega final corner. He loses a little bit of oversteer there, which is going to drop his time. He had 3.5 tenths and he dropped it all the way down to a tenth and a half. Super unfortunate, but definitely the lap time is there, and he has got away with a purple sector 1 by a tenth on USB, so definitely improvement to be made. As we'll go on board with Lorenzo here in the Ferrari. He's currently 2 tenths up on his lap time, looking to break into the 123s, which again will still set him probably just outside the top 10 now, as everyone's starting to improve. So far so good. Lap time looks nice and clean. We'll just switch over quickly as I know Samuel Braxton currently 7 tenths, almost 8 tenths up on his lap time. It looks like an extremely good lap time, and he's only just about to enter sector 3. This would be a mega improvement. This could send him literally all the way up to P4, possibly at the moment. As he loses a little bit on the exit there, but that that BMW looking very strong. Catches the grass, unfortunately. That is going to ruin the lap time, but he still holds a lot of delta. Still, unfortunately, goes out. How is that not track limits? But you know, I'm not one to judge. Still half a second up on the lap time, so it must have been a really good final sector, apart from the small minor mistakes. 6 tenths on the end of that lap, so that's going to send him all the way up to P5. Again, obviously there's a couple tenths there, definitely, after the those mistakes he made, so he can definitely worm his way into a top 4 position at the moment. We'll go on board with Daniel here in the McLaren. There's a Porsche getting out of the way nicely. There's as he actually slows down to start his lap. I know he was a couple tenths up on the Delta, but obviously wants to reset and go for a clean lap as we now hit 2 minutes to go. So everyone now will be setting or starting their final laps. So it's all to play for currently at the top. I'll remind you again that USB has a 2.5 tenth lead at the top with 22.6, with Senatore in the Lambo 22.8, only 2.5 tenths off USB. So USB's got a decent amount of gap at the moment, as we just see the McLaren go a little bit wider. That Porsche going to make the overtake, but McLaren tries to get it out of the way, I think, but super unfortunate. I know they're up on the lap time, so plenty of improvement here for some of the drivers, which is going to be good to see, because we get to see more of these quick lap times start to come through. Someone that is up on the Delta though is USB, unfortunately on an invalidated lap, but is a 10.5 on the Delta. I have no idea how he's finding the time, possibly using cheats, might need to look into him, but Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, improving on that lap is something insane.
Yeah, 10.5, so that would have literally put him into a 22.4. So I don't know. I mean, he's on his final lap now, and he's already 2 tenths up on the Delta. Okay, I'm actually speechless. I don't know how he's finding the time. He's 2 tenths up still as he comes down at the exit of turn 3. There's obviously plenty of time for you. Maybe the track's improved. I haven't been paying attention on it, but I haven't seen.
It's gone up about 2 degrees since the start of qualifying. I don't know if that's changed anything, but
Nothing major, I would imagine. But
yeah.
loses a little bit down the straight, but it's hovering around the 10th at the moment. This is definitely all to play for. Vanatore in the Lambo is up on the Delta, but he needs to find 2.5 tenths, and that's not including USB's current time. He's about to set. Qualifying has now ended, so everyone's Wilby's final lap is now. Tamara into the pit lane, Hanak into the pit lane, so it's just the top 2 on track at the moment. USB getting a lovely exit there. It boosts his lap time from 3/4 of a tenth to almost 2 tenths. As he set to 22.4, almost at 22.3, crazy. And the Lambo there, not quick enough. 2 tenths in the end there, but holds sector 1 and sector 2 times in purple. Again, still sector 1 time, 1 tenth quicker than the Ferrari driver. But USB 3 tenths quicker in the final sector. Really impressive stuff, as we do see the final drivers now starting to clear up their laps. But here we go. Tan in the Aston Martin is currently 6.5 tenths up on his lap time. I don't think it'll be an improvement, but it is definitely a good lap. So we're checking in on this. Where does it put him? Stays P23, but great improvement from the driver. Another great improvement is darkness. Actually, he's 1.5 seconds up on the Delta. This will put him in a higher position. I think this might put him P23. P24, only half a second off. Great lap time from him to get himself up the grid a little bit. Like 30 drivers, sorry, starting this race. It's going to be at a relatively small track, so it's going to be a bit hectic. Yeah, I mean, it's all part of the fun. I'm really excited. So what do you think, Harry?
Yeah, I mean, that grid was very close. I mean, what, a tenth separating each driver, and that was all the way down into P20 as well. So it's certainly be a close race.
Yep, absolutely. It's definitely going to be a close race. As I said, USB mega lap 22.4. Obviously, the minus 40 probably helping him out quite a bit there, I can imagine. But still, there's still some fast drivers behind him, and that was a relatively impressive lap. So interested to see how he gets on at the start of the race. Obviously, got a Lambo behind him, then a Mustang, 2 McLarens, 2 BMWs, Porsche, Ferrari, 2 Astons. So again, relatively quick cars. So interested to see how this all works out. Again, majority of the grid is some of the main cars you would expect to see it. But hopefully, as we move on through career mode, there'll be a few more surprise packages, and like the Honda and the Lexus. So interesting to see how they get on. Obviously, we know the Honda was competitive. He had a lap good enough for a top 10. So we'll have to keep an eye on him as he goes around the race. Because I would like to see that Honda get places it shouldn't be. It's definitely great to see some of these older cars start to come through and compete with the new ones. It really shows that it's pretty much the driver that's driving the car can really push a car that shouldn't be there to somewhere where it belongs, really. 20 seconds now into the formation lap. USB still in the setup, so maybe making some final adjustments or just waiting. Obviously 1 hour this race, so plenty of opportunities to make moves. And plenty of time to think about one. So we now get underway for the formation lap. That is not what I wanted to do on my PC. Please go away, Task Manager. Thank you. So yeah, you see the drivers now pulling away from the grid. See, 30 drivers. We have all stationary set. Some nice liveries already today. You can see the Lexus there. Number 863, Vincent Stout. Must say, I'm not sure if that's a default or not. I'm actually going to investigate because okay, I don't recognize it, so it could be.
It is default.
Oh, it is default. Okay, I've never seen a Lexus, that's why. I've never seen one before. But yeah, again, still some cool cars on display today. A few liveries are looking relatively nice. We'll get out this camera because we are now in the floor. But yes, can we not do this, ACC? Thank you. We'll go up the grid a little bit. We'll also go somewhere mid-grid. Actually, we'll go on to Harry just to put the pressure on. No pressure.
You saying I'm mid-pack?
Well, you almost are pretty much.
Yeah, I mean this grid's insane. Yeah, there's so little time between each driver.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a competitive race, and definitely something to watch out for. I've actually noticed a few names down the list here, and maybe you as well included, that are down in the midfield, so still relatively fast drivers as well, so I'll be interested to see, maybe not getting the lap in qualifying, hopefully can make their way up in the race as well. Obviously you do not belong in P13, one could say, so maybe a few more positions for you up in the race maybe.
Yeah, Brand's actually not the easiest to overtake on, so where there is going to be a battle, it's going to be intense.
I mean, for your standards, I think there could be opportunities to overtake,
So long as Ben's not around.
that's true. Ben is not here tonight. Obviously, if you don't remember, on Sunday we had the Zandvoort race for the Sunday Sprint Series, and Harry was a little bit of a menace on the track, but as we now go around to the final corner, we'll start to watch Usby and the rest of the grid start to line up in the 2x2 formation as we get away for green lights very shortly. I'll need a better camera than this, Canos, please. I don't think we're going to get one, but actually that's not a bad one. So we come up to the line now. I think it's just before at the Brands. It is just before, and they're away, that Lambo alongside Usby and ahead of Usby, coming to someone, but Usby is going to get the nose in, and there's a contact already, drifting. The Lambo is off into the gravel trap, plenty of carnage already, but it does promote Tamara into P1 at the moment. Hanak already in P3 alongside the other McLaren side by side, and that is Altosis also looking up the inside of the other McLaren. I think he's going to get the nose in here. A little bit of contact, but nothing serious as they go side by side, and he's not going to get the nose in, and he does make contact with the McLaren. Don't think there was room for his nose to be there, but that's up to the stewards to decide. But moving on, we'll go now with Tamara, who is in P1 still, obviously promoted to P1 after the contact that Usby had with the Lambo off the start, who's actually now sitting in P8, all in the midfield. So still in this race, nothing major loss, but there is positions changing absolutely everywhere. I can't really keep up with it all, but we see Dunk is actually very close to the back of Mark here. Maybe not making a move, but there's the Honda. The Honda has spun around. I think he probably got a little bit over the curb and gets tapped by a McLaren. It's unfortunate, but they do get going again, which is great to see. As we do go back on board, we'll go back somewhere as we see Sam here looking for an opportunity, as is the Lambo trying to make their way up the top again. We do see Hanak actually start to drop off a little bit from the front too. Usby very close to the back of the Mustang, trying to reclaim that P1. As we do see actually maybe a little bit of a mistake from Sam, as positions seem changing a lot, but I don't know if Nikonen's going to get the back here. I don't think he is. There's plenty of action already, as we do see more drivers swapping and changing. See the McLaren here, actually the one that got spun around by Altosis, making moves at the back of the grid, trying to work their way up the grid. I don't see any major damage on the McLaren, so I think it's okay. So hopefully we'll see him return to the top soon. But actually just ahead, the Lexus looking for the move on the McLaren. Obviously that straight line speed really going to help them out in terms, but you can see how much they lose in the corners and how superior that McLaren actually is. But we'll go on board again with Usby, who is pulling away from Hanak and staying very close to the back of the Mustang. Really wants that P1. So we just finished lap 1 now. Pretty hectic lap 1. And Harry's lost a place. Nothing changes there major. But we see Braxton losing more positions. I don't know if he's got some major damage there, but he's just lost a couple of positions into turn 1. That's not looking good for him at the moment, as we actually see the Lambo getting very close to the backside onto the grass. Harry's going to make a perfect opportunity of this move. Maybe looking for the switchback, but he's not. He's going to get a nice run out the exit of the corner, and maybe looking for a dive up the hill. Yep, pretty standard move, very clean move. Well done, Harry. You get a round of applause from absolutely no one. But somehow Usby has got through. Not sure how that happened. I missed that. But I did see a mistake from Tamara there, so maybe some mistakes already happening in the early laps of this race. But yeah, Hanak has closed up a little bit. Some further mistake from Tamara there. Not looking good, getting all shaky all over the curbs. It's going to allow Usby to pull a little bit of the gap for a little bit of a breather, but it does allow that McLaren to catch up. So definitely got to check the mirrors still. Now we'll go on board with the Lambo that got was in the gravel trap at lap 1, all over the back of this Porsche. Maybe looking for a move into turn 1, but gets a little bit snappy in the final corner. And it might actually allow the Aston Martin behind the number 50 to look for a move to the outside. Not going to be alongside enough. As they head into turn 1 now, and that will be all games changed. Does make himself as big as possible in the mirrors, and not going to be enough though, as actually Sam there also looking for the re-overtake. Obviously I'm not sure what happened to him at his opening laps of this race, but he's looking for his way back up. Again, the Lambo quite close to the back of this Porsche, so hopefully maybe a move soon. We'll go on board with Altosis actually, who's very close to this train now. Used to be holding a 1.1 second gap currently to second place, and then it's Hanak and Altosis following very shortly. It is Altosis with the fast lap so far, the 23.7, and used to be only a 10th off that, and the rest of the guys are in 24s. So maybe Altosis does have the pace on the M4. Was not expecting it, to be honest, but maybe there is something here. Maybe he's still trying to get grips with it. But we'll actually move back on, as the Lambo did get past the Porsche. As the Porsche is being overtaken by about 6 cars at once. So I think actually the BMW, Sam looking for the re-overtake on the Aston down the straight. He's going to get a lovely slipstream from the Porsche. As head to turn 1, who's going to be later on the brakes? It is going to be Sam. Sam's going to keep the inside and make the move. Lovely move, as we do see again as he now hunt down the McLaren, but Harry also going for the same move. Very nice move, and the Lambo behind them also trying to follow him through. Again, not the best day for that number 50. Harry gets a little bit shaky over the curbs there, but yeah, not the best day for that Aston. So we should go back on board with the Lambo, the 112. Remember, this one had a little bit of an accident at lap 1, turn 1, looking for all the re-overtakes. Currently P9, could be P8 by the end of this lap. Stay on board and find out for sure. You see a lot of gravel and dirt being flicked up. Possibly some of the drivers going a little bit wider than is specified by the track limits, but yeah, you see the Lambo there having to a little bit of a lift to not hit the back of Kelly there. So getting really close, putting the pressure on Kelly. Maybe looking for a re-overtake. I say re-overtake, but overtake into the final corner. Maybe not. It's going to get a nice exit here. We'll get a nice overtake into turn 1, hopefully. I'm not sure if he's close enough, but we'll stay on board and make sure we have a good view. Don't think he's close enough, but maybe looking for the move up into the hairpin.
Kelly gets a little bit squirrely out of the corner, makes a little mistake. Will that be enough for the Lambo?
It's not, but he's going to look for the dive. He does make the dive. Kelly does leave space, and that will be a lovely, lovely move from that Lamborghini. In fact, I didn't even expect him to make it, but luckily Kelly left the space. Otherwise, there might have been a little bit of contact there. But yeah, great move from the Lambos. He now promotes himself to P8 and now looking for the Aston of Pryor, who is currently 1 second ahead and chasing Nyneken. So again, lots of battles already in the early stages of this race. Like I said, the top four still relatively close. Obviously, Usby doing magic and pulling away quite a lot, but P2, P3 and P4 are relatively close still and all in on the action. We'll head now down a little bit down the grid. We'll check in actually with P15, the number 56 of Lorenzo in the Ferrari, who is looking to catch the Lamborghini ahead of him. Doing alright so far, as he actually starts to build a little bit of a train behind him. He's maybe looking to try get past this Lamborghini as quickly as possible. We'll see how that goes for him a little bit later, but we do see the Lamborghini all over the back of Pryor already and looking for the same move he did on Kelly the lap before, and he does make the move. Pryor does leave the space, and that is the Lamborghini for the second time, for the second overtake in the second lap, up to P7 now. So really trying to put the laps down and try catch up as much as possible. He is doing the same lap times as the top guys at the moment, so he still has the pace. No damage inflicted physically on the car, I don't think. So that's great news as he now looks to chase down the number 909. He's currently just a second ahead of him. But again, that was the gap before, so maybe he'll bring the gap down and we'll have to check on him if he makes the same move again. We'll see actually number 28 get quite close to number 56 like we've just spoken about before. Maybe the number 56 dropping off a little bit. So Maxime here might be looking for the overtake relatively soon. We'll have to see how that goes along for him. We'll actually see the Aston here of Adrian getting very close to the back of Sam as they enter the final corner now. They may be looking for an overtake. Just 3/10 between them, so who knows. But speaking of 3/10 between them, Hanak is all over the back of the Mustang. Altos is dropping off very so slightly. The pace has been picked up by these top guys, all doing high 23s at the moment, literally almost identical lap times. So it's all to be played for, as I believe that's a great exit for the McLaren, but the Mustang will have the straight line speed, I think, to hold him off. Yeah, so it's going to get close for these top guys. It's the only 10 minutes in this race so far, so Hanak gets all over the grass but looks for the move. Mustang blocks him off, but does go wide a little bit onto the gravel. That is allowing the Mustang up the inside into the blind corner. It's going to be side by side, and the Mustang does let the McLaren through. But that does allow Altosis, but the Mustang comes back and he tries to switch back, and he does push the McLaren off into the grass, but does promote Altosis all the way into P2. Little bit of contact made there, and yeah, you can see Hanak is flashing. He's not happy. That was a bit of a late move by the Mustang. Again,
It's fun.
90. What's happened here? We'll have to go on board. We'll go back 30 seconds and just find out. Side by side with Kelly. Into the corner. Gets a little bit over curved, so it looks good so far. Kelly's still looking for the move. Into the blind corner. He's on the grass. Yeah, I've done that plenty of time. The grass instantly catch you out here, and it'll very unforgiving. It'll spin you right round, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll go back now on board with the number 50 again, who's all over the back of Sam, who actually seems to be exceeding track limits ahead of him. So we'll have to see how this goes on. Obviously Harry now not that far behind, so this train starts to form up a little bit more. Obviously everyone's going to be looking for a clean move. Yes, Hanak, unfortunately, like we said, got pushed off there, and he wasn't happy about it. I did think it was a late move. Again, we'll leave it to the stewards, but That does actually mean now Tamara all over the back of Altosis. That lead that Altosis got was not for long, as the Mustang looks for the re-overtake. Now it does seem to be the faster car at the moment, especially in that straight line. The Mustang is going to win every day, but it's the battle of the corners at Brands Hatch, so we'll have to see how this all plays out. But we do see Adrian all over the back of Sam again, maybe looking for the move, but we do see just ahead it's Kelly and Pryor side by side into turn 1. Pryor on the outside, Kelly on the inside. Kelly just stays just ahead, but that does promote the BMW side by side with Pryor as well. Pryor's going to hold that off just enough, but it does allow that number 50, the Aston, to look for the move on Sam. Plenty of action here. That's the thing. If you mess up or change lines, you're also sacrificing the gap behind. So drivers have to be really careful where they choose. Pryor going a little bit wide there. It's going to actually probably allow Samuel Braxted, the number 92, to make the move into one of these corners, which I don't think is very wise, but Pryor does brake early and make sure he tucks in nicely. But Pryor also is just looking in the mirrors there, trying to make himself as big as possible. Again, like I said, this has promoted, I say promoted, but allowed Harry to catch up. So all this fighting not doing them any good at the moment. Might have to work together to build up and try catch the likes of Gemio in P6, who's currently running his own race. Not that far ahead of Kelly, but you know, still a relatively good distance. Go on board actually with them as they go side by side into the final corner, Pryor and Adrian. Probably looking for the same move he was trying to do on Kelly. But again, I think Adrian's just going to hold off, luckily. And this does defend actually from Pryor. I don't think Pryor was going to make the move there, but he does obviously seem a bit concerned about it. I have to keep an eye on this one. As again, like I said, Pryor a little bit of a big slide that is going to allow Harry just to get alongside and most likely ahead into this corner. He has the inside that is literally the winning line. So yeah, you can see it, Pryor a little bit wide, and that most likely compromised his straight line speed. But he's going to get a lovely slipstream from Harry, and Pryor might be looking to fight back here. I don't think so. He's tucked in relatively nicely. But that does mean Harry up to P10 now. Pryor just short behind. You see everyone touching the grass just behind. Yeah, we'll go up board with Tamara, who's actually now very close to the back of Altosis. I've said that like twice now, but this time it is the closest it's ever been. I say that as he loses about 3/10 in the final corner. But yeah, Hanak actually dropping off very slightly, so maybe these two working together, try pull away and catch Usby. Last lap times pretty much identical to Usby at the moment, so doing just okay, but it needs to be a little bit more than Usby. They're in the 23.9s, needs to be a little bit more. As we just see, obviously the Lambo currently pushed him forward, his way back up to P5. It's currently 11 seconds off the leader, but holds the fastest lap, and he's currently almost half a second quicker each lap to Usby. So time is being gained, but obviously he's going to get caught up in that 3-car train, so I have to see how that goes for him. We'll go on board a little bit down the grid. We'll see. Get Gabriel here, another 88 in the Aston Martin. And a little bit of a 3-car train, fighting for P15. Looks like a relatively nice battle so far, keeping it clean. It's the Aston sandwich between two Ferraris. I think this will be our closest battle, but I say that as Pryor is relatively close to the back of this Porsche, so he's lost another position, either due to mistakes or the like. He's actually lost 2 positions. Rather unfortunate, one could say, but we actually see Samuel Braxted all over the back of Kelly. Kelly defends the inside. Don't think Sam's going to get enough on the outside. He's not, but he might look for the inside, and looks, yes he is, he's going to be alongside Kelly into the hairpin. Kelly does leave the space, and it does allow Sam to get up, but Kelly's still going to look for the outside, not enough for him, as that does mean Sam now into P7. Great move, I've seen moves there all day. Obviously, some great moves. Hopefully some more. But we do see Hanak has caught up massively to the back. I mean, do see some blue flags getting out of the way, but it's not going to be enough as Hanak dives down the inside of Altersis. Blue flag did his best there. Not much he could do. He didn't know Hanak was trying to go for the move there. I didn't think Hanak was going to go for the move there, but he was, and he is, and he's now through. Still relatively clean move. I don't think Altosis really had much choice. He didn't really want to go 3 wide with a blue flag into the corner. Quite a sensible decision. But actually Hanak on the aggression today. He wants that position back from Tamara. So again, all to be played for at the moment. Obviously, maybe these Altosis and Tamara fighting a little bit, which has allowed him to catch up. But Hanak needs a little bit more now to get through. So we'll go on board actually with the number 59, who's on the back of the number 88. This is obviously the battle we were just seeing a bit earlier. Maybe a move to be made into the hairpin like we've seen all day so far. I don't think it's close enough, but you never know. I've seen it from that far before. And oh, avoids contact there. Great initiative to avoid the contact. A little bit of late braking, unfortunately. But glad to see he took the initiative there and to avoid the contact. Fantastic. We've actually got on board with Volkov here. The McLaren that we saw spun or hit into a car at the start of the race is actually chasing after Mark for P20. Currently half a second between them. McLaren obviously suffering a little bit of bumper damage, which you can see on the front there. I presume this McLaren will be looking to make the pass relatively soon, but we do see a car spun up the top. Number 49 Porsche looks like quite major suspension damage. Probably a drive shaft too, by the looks of it. Trying to look for a rejoin onto the track with a lot of damage. It has put the hazards on, but I wonder how that occurred. Probably being a blue flag, unfortunately does, especially at a track like this, does make things quite awkward. But yeah, we'll move on now to Hanak, who's all of a sudden caught up to Jamil, but Hanak's stopping. Hanak has stopped on the side of the truck, and he's RTG'd. I'm not sure what this is all about, but more the while, they're caught up to Jamil. I don't know if Jamil's made a massive mistake of sorts, but it's now put him into the thick of it. It's actually, yeah, because Tamara and yes, I mean, yeah, Hanak's been pushed back, I guess. Maybe contact again with Tamara, I don't know. I'll have to see, but the BMW looking for the move onto the grass. These guys are so close. There's literally like less than a second between all of them. As we just see BMW again looking for the move. They're all very, very, very close. As they come up now towards sector 3. BMW still looking for the pass on Jamil. Kelly not that far behind. We'll have to catch up actually a little bit later on Hanak. We'll have to see if we can find a him, or I don't know, we'll have to find something. But BMW looking for the move on the outside of the final corner. Jamil's going to get the better line, and that does allow, but we do see in the background the Aston Martin. Literally on the back of Kelly as well. There could be 2 moves into turn 1 here. Not sure the best one to go on board with. BMW backs out of the Jamil move, but tries to get a better line. Might be looking for the move into the hairpin. Jamil blocks it off. Goes to the outside, that does the BMW. And again, Jamil holds the better line. But Kelly's going to look for a move on the BMW. Not going to get his nose in this time, but great racing so far from these guys. We'll have to see how it all plays out for them. So BMW quite desperate actually to get through. So maybe we'll see Jim a little bit slide on that Porsche there, which has probably not helped his straight line speed. And against the BMW, it could be quite close. I'll stay on board. I don't think, yes, I don't think Sam's going to make the move here, but again a little twitch from the Porsche all over the grass. Does hold the position for now, relatively close. Porsche gets a better line, BMW just a little bit of a slide, but it does allow Kelly all over the back of the Porsche. Was thinking about a move into the blind corner. I will give a huge congratulations to anyone that tries that move, but we do see Gemiel making a little bit of a mistake at that final corner. It does allow the BMW to get through fully before the final corner. Unfortunate for Gemiel, maybe looking for the move, but the BMW died into bits. So there we go. Sam making the pit stop. I believe he did pick up the penalty just before, so maybe trying to serve that as quickly as possible. Speaking of penalties, usually giving a 5-second time penalty. I presume that would be for the start. Again, he holds a 2.5 second gap to anyone on the track at the moment. He does have bumper damage. I didn't see that before, so maybe, I don't know if that was from lap 1 or that was maybe a little bit of a, I don't know, the barriers aren't that close here, so yeah, it must have been from lap 1. So maybe trying to manage some damage there is not going to help his race. But we do see Altosa is actually quite close to the back of Tamara here. Obviously these guys, top 4, have a relatively good gap, Gemiel being the next car behind them all. So 5 seconds between the top 4, and then it's a further 15 seconds from Gemiel, who's currently under a little bit of pressure from Kelly. Obviously, as we saw Sam get through last lap and he dived into the pit lane. Kelly probably looking to go as long as possible. Obviously, almost half distance in this race already, and I haven't even drunk a bit of water yet. That's crazy. But again, it's all about the action here. There's so many battles going on, and like to imagine now, it is starting to think for some of these drivers all about the strategy game. What do they do? But we do see the Aston Martin get relatively close to the back of Kelly there. Maybe not looking for a move, but maybe trying to push Kelly to try catch Gemiel. Obviously Harry's not that far behind, and could be a possible another train start to form. But we'll go on board again with Altosis, who's currently trailing Tamara. And speaking of trailing, that Lamborghini has pushed so much that he's literally within a second of them already. Obviously, their contacts and stuff ahead of them not helped them out the most, but you know, this could start to change things into this race. Obviously, the Lamborghini had a great start alongside USB, and then they made contact into the first corner. So this Lamborghini looking for the redemption drive, as they now very close to the back of Altosis. Obviously has the pace difference, has the fastest lap of the race. It's the last lap, you can see there, 23.9. That is the best of everyone's last lap of time, as they all make contact with the back of Altosis, looking for the dive. Does wait very nicely for Altosis. Presumably he'll wait a little bit more for Altosis. Loses a little bit more time, but as I was saying, does have the best lap time by a second, so it's almost a second a lap for this Lamborghini driver. I presume he's going to move on now, because he didn't want to wait too much for Altosis. A little bit unfortunate. He's trying to get past. He saw the gap, stuck his nose in where he shouldn't. It's really unfortunate, but happens to the best of us. So hopefully they'll recover from any steward action.
Oh, Kelly's gone.
Kelly has spun indeed. He is not on my thing, but I presume we'll get a helicam. You see that Aston as well, so I presume, and they were very close before, so I can imagine there's contact between them. We will go back and watch that. Yeah, you can see the Aston tags Kelly in the rear there. Very unfortunate, almost Harry getting collected and all that. Super unfortunate, because I know they were relatively close on the racing. That's actually quite unfortunate that Kelly can't rejoin, because the amount of cars that had to go by. We see now, see USB lapping some cars. Actually, that's Sam after making a pit stop. So maybe Sam looking to unlap himself, because probably what he wants to do. I'm not sure what USB's plan to do, if he wants to let him go or not, but this could cost USB time if they're too much with it. The gaps have started to spread out a little bit more now, which I'm happy about, halfway through the race only. Yeah, closest thing on track at the moment is this battle we were watching earlier, actually, between the two Ferraris, staying relatively close to each other, which is great to see. Hopefully they get close for a battle soon. Another pit stop has been made, obviously it's being done. Again, that McLaren that we saw at the start of the race as well, doing a pit stop now. So it didn't have that damage, so it should just be doing a simple normal pit stop. But we'll go on board now, as I think USB's just lost so much time, and presumably with that blue flag of Sam, because he went from a 2.5 second lead to only a second. So I presume something went on there. I didn't catch it, but obviously Sam blocking, I say blocking, but in between USB and Tamara at the moment. So USB still got a little bit of space to make. Sam is being blue flagged at the moment, but if he has the fastest pace or not to try get past USB, I can imagine that's what he's tried to do, and that's what cost USB time. Obviously with that damage as well on USB's car, it's not really helping him in terms of lap time. All the while this does allow that Lamborghini to try catch up that what he did, and just see how this all plays out in terms of blue flag. You see Sam getting quite close to the back of USB there, and that's USB actually starting to catch another blue flag. Sam looking for the overtake. Not sure what USB's plan here. I would let him go, personally. Aston Martin tries to, doesn't really get out of the way very well, but manages to get out of the way by himself by touching the grass and going on. Not the most ideal way of giving away I've seen, but it works. You see Sam got a great exit on USB, but obviously USB doesn't really want to fight this at all, unless USB's waiting out for the pit stops at this moment. I don't know what his plan is. USB touching the grass on the outside there actually, which is not helped his charge. As actually Sam does try and make the move into turn 1, USB is going to let him go. I think that was the right decision. I think he probably should have made that decision a few laps earlier, because now again Tamara only within 1 second at the moment. So that lead he had, although not much, has now been cut down by almost 50%. So he has to do a little bit more work now to try and build that gap back up. See Kelly also trying to remake places after getting spun around by the Aston, and trying to make moves on another Aston. Probably going to try set up the hairpin, I can imagine. Yeah, great exit. Will he look for the dive? Don't think so. He's going to keep it clean. Aston's going to go a little bit wide. Kelly's going to try stick his nose in. Not going to get enough on the exit. So he stays patient for now. Maybe going to look for another move, as the Aston's really slow for the apex of the corner there. Kelly is flashing. He wants the Aston to get out of the way. And again, the Aston really slow for these couple of corners. So Kelly should most likely get a overtake here if he's brave enough. I don't know if he's actually going to get enough straight line speed actually for that overtake. No, he's not. Hopefully, probably looking for it relatively soon. He would ideally need to get past as soon as possible to try and make up for lost time. I would imagine he'd want to try. We'll go on board with Kelly's POV. Like I said, this is the POV Kelly races in, so you'll be experiencing it from a driver POV, of exactly how Kelly sees it. Still flashing, still looking for the move. He's going to maybe dive into the final corner, not going to get enough nose in, but we see another car into the pit lane for their pit stop of this race. You see Kelly again not close enough, maybe trying to set up a little bit more, try and get the move done. I'll have to see how this all plays out, as Kelly is alongside now into the hairpin. Up the inside, a little bit, barely room between them, as the Aston does go wide. I'm not sure if contact was made there, it didn't seem like there was, but obviously we'll have to come, but that did compromise the Aston to the other Aston. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. Watch Aston gets a better exit. I think it's going to be the number 50. 50 is going to go great exit. It's going to pull out already. It's going to look for the move. Aston in the middle of the straight. I wouldn't make the move here on the outside. That's dangerous. But yep, there you go. Tucks in nicely. We'll try again. But he does the switchback. Yes, switchback into the next corner. Beautiful move, but the switchback comes back at him as the 88 looks for the switchback again. It's switchback central in sector 3. And the Aston does stay ahead. Great racing between these two. I've never seen something like that before. I've never seen a counter switchback in my life. But USB's lost the lead. Either due to a mistake or to let him through, I'm not sure. But USB has lost the lead. Only 3/10 between them. Obviously the Mustang now going to pull away a little bit because of the straight line speed. But yeah, we'll go back to the Aston battle. Let's go side by side into turn 1. Maybe the Aston looking for another move into the hairpin. Looks for the move. Will he get the move? A little bit late on the brakes, but the Aston switches back again. Side by side as they head towards the inner section of the track. Still side by side through these corners. I don't know how they've done that, but it's fantastic to see. As the Aston again will look for a move. Maybe not. Trying to set up for the straight. Loses out actually. And Nyneken actually might get a great run on the back of Gabriel. He does, and he's just going to pull out to the right hand side, up the inside. Presumably he'll try and make this move. No, he does back out of it. Probably the sensible move. That corner is relatively hard to go side by side in. But yeah, great racing from those two Astons. Never seen something like that before, so credits to them. Just see actually Harry relatively close to the back of Gemion here for P5. Can we get a live onboard review, Harry?
Well, my tyres are about 1 psi under. Gemil's making a lot of mistakes on his tyres, which makes me think that he's run them down at least quite a lot. And I know that the Porsche behind is also catching, so if we don't get through these blue flags soon, it could turn into a 3-way battle.
It very well could. I mean, we've seen that today, where the fighting does allow for the cars behind to get in the way, but the blue flag does get out of the way very nicely. So far so good on blue flags, I think, today, so that's nice to see. Yeah, again, relatively close battle. Actually, hopefully looking for a pass soon, as Harry does look to the outside. Not going to be the room there. Maybe you need to do what the other Astons were doing, start switchbacking every corner. That's what we need to look to do.
Still 25 minutes left, I'm not ready to risk it all.
Yeah, we'll come back to you at 3 minutes left, Harry, when you're desperate.
When Benny Lee's in front of me, then come back to me.
Yeah. We'll move on now, as actually that Lamborghini, the 112, all the way behind USB now. So it has caught up very nicely. Again, their lap times have been simply incredible. It's pretty much stayed into the 23s every lap of this race. Again, to put that into perspective, that's 40 minutes of racing staying in the same lap time. I haven't seen them go outside of 23, but I could be wrong. We'll see how this plays out. Obviously, USB's last lap was a 25.0, and tomorrow's was a 24.8. Still quite quick in terms for the rest of the grid, but the Lamborghini here obviously doing it almost a second and a bit quicker. That is some crazy pace. You see USB actually getting a little bit jumpy on the curb. So this Lamborghini will be looking for the pass. Obviously, if you remember back to the start of the race, these two did make contact, and I presume USB has been penalised for that. So interested to see how this all plays out. If maybe the Lamborghini does try and be a bit more aggressive, we'll have to see. He's very close, 2/10 between them. Again, maybe looking for the move into the hairpin, like he's done almost every time he's overtaken someone. He's going to get a lovely run into the hairpin, up the inside. Should be a fairly straightforward move. Yes, I don't think USB did much to it, but USB's going to look for the switchback. USB is going to push a little bit. Still fair racing, still within track limits, and the Lamborghini does get ahead on the exit. Great racing. Lamborghini does go a little bit wide though, does allow USV up the inside. USV still trying to fight this. All the while it's going to let Tamara get away. Very, very close up the hill. Still very close, and the Lamborghini is going to get ahead, but the Ferrari will get a lovely slipstream. I don't think USV will try into the next corner, but if he does, fair enough. I don't think he's not close enough. But again, great racing. And the Lamborghini now promotes himself to P2. Still great racing, but all the while did allow Tamara to get a 1.2 second gap. I don't think that'll be much for the Lamborghini. Again, like I said, he's literally going quicker than these guys by like almost a second a lap, so it should be fairly easy. In terms of the racing, we'll see the battle of the Ferraris all over again. Obviously these two, actually no, it's Kelly actually, sorry, it's Kelly, as they all try to make their way through a blue flag who gets out of the way very nicely. These three very close. Kelly's going to look for a move, makes himself big in the mirrors, does not make the move. It's again very nice closed race. You know, I'm feeling Kelly camp. Kelly POV, he is flashing like crazy. Obviously trying to make the move, but we up ahead, we do see a little bit more battle, but I think that's just a blue flag getting out of the way nicely. There's two blue flags getting out of the way as they split, as all three cars go through the middle. I've seen that one before and I crashed into one. That was almost gave me PTSD, but all cars through safely. As Kelly actually maybe trying to set up for the hairpin. Don't think it's close enough unless he wants to send the dive. No, he's going to keep it nice and clean. So we can move on a little bit to Nijneken. Nijneken's still on the back of that Aston, number 50. Obviously, big part of a relatively. It's just these two. Never mind. I'm getting confused with some of the blue flags. But again, sleep battles all up and down the grid. It's actually Kelly making their way past the Ferrari. I think maybe a mistake for Maxime into the uphill. One car I have seen is he hasn't come up the pit, so I would imagine he has retired from the race, unfortunately, due to contacts and maybe heavy damage. All the while, Kelly just picked up some major pace and just almost teleported to the back of this other Ferrari, as you see more penalties given to some of the top drivers. But yeah, I mean, Kelly's caught crazily and probably looking for a move quite soon, I would imagine. Maybe this lap, or no, the start of next lap, if he gets a good exit out of turn 1, which I would imagine he most probably would. Let's find out. Fairly standard, but the Ferrari head also getting a good exit, so these two relatively close on pace at the moment, so I'll have to catch in with them a bit later. Nijneken, well, again, really close to the back of that Aston like they were a lap before. Nijneken probably looking for the pass as they start to join a little train that is the one by Lorenzio. As Kelly actually looking for the move up the hill, just like he did the lap before, side by side down the straight. These two Ferraris most probably going to top out at the exact same speed, so which one will back out into the corner? Obviously Kelly on the outside. Kelly is going to hold it, and the Ferrari on the inside, not much he could do there. Probably didn't, he wanted to avoid contact, and being that he braked on the apex there, he has lost a lot of time. All the while, this does allow everyone else to catch up. So now Kelly is the train leader all the way down to P14. So plenty of action most likely to come, as you see the Aston looking for the move on the Ferrari just there. Nijneken also getting a great exit, might even look for a move into the final corner. It would be great to see. I don't think he is going to look for it. Maybe try set up for the straight. So yeah, you see on the inside there. Don't think that's going to promote him. He is going to get a good slipstream and does pull out already to the right hand side. So yeah, maybe looking for a lovely, get a little bit wide there. Not great, but again, plenty of action between all these cars. As we do see, actually, the Lamborghini has caught all the way up to the Mustang. Obviously, has got a penalty. Probably, oh, both of them getting very slidey there onto the grass. but obviously a penalty for the contact with Usby. But we'll see now how the Lamborghini does approach this fight with the Mustang. Obviously 17 minutes to go. Relatively close so far, plenty of battles. Used to be dropping off a little bit, the gap's around 1.6 at the moment. But all the while, if these guys keep fighting, it does going to allow Usby to catch up once again. So yeah, I mean, plenty of fights, but we do see the ACM very close to the back of the Ferrari. This is the battle I was talking about earlier. And all the while, this has actually allowed Kelly to gain a massive gap. See some blue flags ahead, should be getting out of the way. There's the Honda. Should allow these guys to get through relatively quickly. Unfortunately, the Honda can't get out of the way for everyone, but does make the dart to the left, thankfully. That did compromise Adrian's exit a little bit, but I don't think too much would have been affected there in terms of lap time. But maybe Adrian looking for a move relatively soon. As there's a car spun around at that thing. It is the Lexus. I don't know if he got tapped or something, but unfortunate. Hopefully he can rejoin the track safely. He does. And just ahead of the Porsche. We're looking to try and get past as soon as possible. There's a blue flag. I don't think, maybe not yet. We'll have to see how that plays out. Obviously great to see some of these older cars, but we do cut back to the Aston Martin around the outside of the Ferrari, gets a little bit on the grass and not be able to make the overtake. So obviously Adrian looking for the move on the right now. 15 minutes to go now. Everyone trying to focus up for the final stint. I say final stint, but final part of this race where everyone starts to get a little bit desperate as they start to hold on to their positions. Adrian all over the grass, and use all of the track as possible. So yeah, great to see how this battle will unfold. Obviously the Ferrari ahead of Maxime, not that far ahead, so still plenty of chance of a P11 finish here for Adrian. All the while this does actually allow, go back to the Lamborghini, who's again 3/10 right behind Tamara. At the moment still on the same pace, these two now in the 24s, 24/7 last time round for these two. Obviously maybe starting to settle in now, those tyres start to feel a little bit, but yeah, these two should be pretty close all the way to the end now. I wouldn't imagine they start fighting majorly until the last couple of laps of this race, because it could allow USB to catch up. Let's see. You know, everyone has a different game plan. We'll actually cut back to the to Adrian, who's still looking for the move. Actually, no, he's made the move on the Ferrari behind, and he's made the move on the Ferrari ahead, or has he? The Ferrari does come back at him into the corner. No, Adrian has made that move with a better exit. Yep, completes and closes the door. Let's see if Adrian can build a gap, but it does allow the two Ferraris behind actually to get side by side, maybe not side by side, but very close on the back. Let's just see how that plays out for them. Just very close, these two, all race long. So I have to see how that is. Will the Ferrari make the dive? He does make the dive. He looks for it, but doesn't go for it. So you see the Honda, they're getting relatively close as a blue flag, trying to urge these guys to get on with it. Oh wow, we actually see the other Lamborghini after this race. Patrick looking for a move on Pryor. Maybe not down this side of the straight, maybe he's trying to set up for the final corners of this racetrack. We'll have to find out how he approaches that relatively shortly. Actually the Lamborghini just ahead, almost side by side actually, as I cut across to them into turn 1. So maybe the Lamborghini doesn't want to wait, he wants to make the move now and try to stay ahead. It's been a great battle so far. So this will be a redemption race of, well, that I've ever seen. in ACM, because being down and almost last, well not last, but still in a midfield where it's a track, it's relatively difficult to find the overtaking spots. It would have been relatively impressive. See USP actually getting past another blue flag there. All the while, actually, Altosis driving quite a quiet second half of the race. Catching USP maybe ever so slightly. USP now on the 25s, not ideal for him. As Altosis did a 24.9 last time round. So still trying to keep up the pace and maybe catch his teammate. Find out how that goes. See, Harry also very close to the back of the Porsche. I'll have to see how that turns out for him. Getting close. We'll actually cut back to the Lamborghini and P1 and 2 as they get relatively close. You can see Tamara defending the inside like crazy, and you can see the Lamborghini wants to get past. It's the second time now, so they can only really make the move into turn 1 where it's a viable overtaking spot. Obviously they seem to be relatively evenly matched throughout the race everywhere else. I think Lamborghini got a little bit twitchy on the exit there. We'll have to see. You see USP seems to be finding all the blue flags at the moment. Again, USP still not that far behind in terms of the race. Obviously, the Lamborghini and USP have a 5-second time penalty, and at the moment that would both put them third and fourth. Altos is 4.7 seconds behind the leader. So again, that would put in P2 as it currently stands. 10 minutes to go. So these guys really need to get a move on, and I presume that is what the Lamborghini is trying to do. He wants to set the pace, and he wants to try and get past as quickly as possible. We'll have to see how that works out, but another person making the move is Ninegan, trying to make the move on the Aston Martin. As you can see, getting all over the grass there does the Aston Martin. So Ninegan trying to make the move, but we'll cut back once again to these two side by side into the corner. Contact is made. You see the Lamborghini trying to turn in. Mustang wasn't turning in just yet. Really trying to hold off and defend nicely, just as the Mustang has been doing so far this race. Maybe trying to back them up into USP. We'll have to see how this goes. So you see the Lamborghini trying to get really desperate now, looking for the move in places which you don't normally see the moves, but we've seen he's done it again. He is flashing now, does want to get past. It's telling him to get on with it, but he doesn't want to. You can see how much the Lamborghini starts to really gain against the Mustang actually in the corners, and how much of a boat that is. But there is a blue flag off the track that does caught Tamara off guard a little bit. It does allow the Lamborghini to get close. It does make look for the move. Tamara defends well. He's going to get the move around the outside into the final corner. Nope, but the Lamborghini's trying to set up. Again, both of them relatively nice exit there. So not yet, but the move will be coming soon. We'll stay on board with these two. We won't cut anyone else for a little bit, because this is the battle for the lead with 9 minutes to go now. Another blue flag just ahead of them. Should get out of the way nicely for them. It does. Lamborghini trying to make the move as quickly as possible. You can see almost how much Tamara is defending. You can see how he's blocking the inside, and that Mustang being as big as it is making it relatively difficult for the Lamborghini to try and find a way to shove his front nose into a corner. So we actually got on board into the helicam to get a better view. This has allowed USP to catch up a little bit, so USP is not that far behind still in terms of actual race positions. Obviously Altosis actually dropped off a little bit, now 7.4 seconds behind the leader, and 5.2 seconds behind USP. So as it stands, the Lamborghini and USP are fine in terms of their penalties. Obviously it won't really matter for Tamara, but because he doesn't have a penalty, but you can see how close the Lamborghini's got. That must have been millimeters. these two really pushing now. I think maybe Altosa's dropped off a little bit. He needs to sort of reactivate that turbo he has on that car and make some lap time up. But the Lamborghini really close to the back of the Mustang now. Will try set up at the hairpin for the 16th time this race. You see that Mustang a little bit wide, but the Lamborghini does a little bit of a twitch, but will get the inside, and he can't defend it now. So Lamborghini is there, and he does push. But Tamara was closing a little bit. We'll have to see how that is. I think that's a little bit of racing. You can see the Mustang also looking for the dive. That is the Lamborghini fully ahead now. So now he has made the move into turn 2 and 3. So now he'll try and pull away as much as possible. This has allowed USP to close up only within a second now. Mustang obviously much better in a straight line. We'll have to see if the Mustang is going to try and think about the move. He isn't. These two still close. Obviously maybe the Mustang wants to try get through, but knows all he has to do is stay within 5 seconds. But I'm assuming he'll want it on track just in case there's any appeals or anything like that. We'll see the Lexus actually as a blue select next. This will be tricky for these guys to get through, as the Lexus is an absolute boat through the corner, but Lamborghini makes a dive, Mustang makes a dive, relatively clean for them. USP will get through nicely as well. He does. You can see how close these guys really are. Go on board the Helicam. You can see how much the Mustang actually starts to pull on the straight. I don't think the Mustang will be able to do the cornering speeds that the Lamborghini was to make the move into the hairpin. Is actually Tamara does get on the gravel there. It's not helped his chances a lot. Lamborghini a little bit deep, but keeps it nice and tidy. So have to see how this all plays out. In other words, I think Kelly's just made a move up to P9, so that's good for him.
Yeah, Jemiel span out at the middle of sector 2, so that's how we got the P9.
Okay, so unfortunate for Jemiel. Obviously he's been in the battles today. That Porsche was looking a bit twitchy when I kept watching over to him, so unfortunate, but hopefully he's still in P10, so still relatively good finishing position for him. So yeah, as we move on, actually you can see the Mustang really struggling through sector 3. It doesn't have the turn in that the Lamborghini has. As you can start to see that as the Lamborghini goes off, he's in the gravel, he's in the grass. As he rejoins in P2 now, that does give Tamara the lead of the race, and USP's not that far behind at all now, as USP keeps dropping off and then keeps coming back a little bit, so I have to keep an eye on it. Yeah, Altosis, I can confirm, has officially lost the pace, most probably. He's now 11 seconds to the leader, so not the best for him, but still has a decent gap behind to worry about, which is good for him. So we'll actually we'll go on board with Heineken, who's still trying to make the move on the Aston ahead of him. Obviously these two have been relatively close. I've been keeping an eye on the Delta. Very close. You see Heineken a little bit twitchy there on that Ferrari. Maybe that's what he needs. He needs to keep that thing nice and stable, and then he'll be able to maybe try and make the move. We'll go back actually to these two as Lamborghini got really close in sector 1. Obviously not that much now because the Mustang is really fast in straight line, but Tamara did have to break up the apex, and it is going to allow the Lamborghini to close up, and he does defend nicely, but it is going to put him in the gravel. They seem to make all the gravel passes at the moment, but it does promote the Lamborghini back up to P1 and the Mustang in P2. Actually 3 minutes to go in this race now, so it's literally everything, and obviously Altosis is that far behind now. It literally, penalties do not matter, so the Lamborghini and USP will be fighting for position. Obviously tomorrow it doesn't really matter for him, but I presume he'll want it on track just in case of any appeals like I mentioned before. So it's all to play for this top 3. Obviously all 3 of them drove a great race already, great qualifying, and have some hopefully close racing come the end of this race. I must say as well that Lamborghini's got an absolutely lovely livery. I've been watching that actually for a little bit. It does look absolutely fantastic. Again, a few other battles on track at the moment. Pryor and Patrick being one of them. I know these two were also fighting a little bit of a while ago, so maybe trying to reignite this battle come the final laps of this race. So see how they get on. You can also see other battles on this track. The number 59 that we saw earlier trying to fight the number 85, which I haven't talked about today. Matt Howes fighting for P17 at the moment, with the 59 Ferrari just behind him. Obviously has a little bit of leeway in terms of that is an absolutely destroyed BMW. I've never seen that one before, but obviously trying to fight for P17. We actually have the Aston all over the back of Maxime here, and you can see Ninekin also on the back of this train. So battles all around. You see Kelly actually looking almost for a move very into sector 3, all over the back of this Porsche at the moment. See how close it is. It's extremely close to Kelly. You can actually see as well. I'll go back to the Aston Martin, who's literally glued to the bumper of this Ferrari. Literally all three of them. I don't know how they can see. You can see actually they makes the move. He's going to make the move into the blind corner. Thanks, Connors. He does make the move before the blind corner. Also, we didn't get a great camera angle because it's a Connors game. Yep, makes the move nice and lovely, and obviously Ninekin will be looking to follow him through for that as well. I'd imagine so. It looks like they've got the pace at the moment. Also, we'll head back to Pryor and Patrick, who are a lot closer than we were when we last left them. So maybe, I don't know if Pryor has a bit of damage, so I might just be seeing things. No, I think it's fine. I'm seeing things as usual. But yeah, we'll move on back down the grid actually, as we see obviously Matt Howes and 59 Ferrari very, very close now. It's actually, I think they're getting hauled up by a blue flag driver, but you heard it. The leader is on the final lap of the race. He currently has a 1.4 second gap, so really pulled out the lap time. I don't think it's unless Tamara makes a mistake, I don't think he's going to get it unless he wants to appeal and I'll get that appeal accepted. But on track, he's not going to get it. But see, Tamara has driven a great race, and so has his Lamborghini. Obviously, from the start of this race, up and down, onto the gravel on lap 1, and put him in a very competitive midfield. There's fights all over the place, and he's pretty much been the highlight of this race, constantly making the moves into the hairpin. So driven a great race, even if he's not going to finish P1 on track, but definitely a great race regardless. But it will be P2, as USP also has a 5-second, thanks to Gunnars, for P3, as well as he's backed off very shortly. But, yep. For our leader then, he's actually pulled out more lap time. Really big push on this final lap. He's done all he can. Again, like I said, driven a great race. Will cross the line to finish P1, but not with penalties. But we'll have to see if that gets removed or not. Obviously, Tamara second, driven a great race as well. That would be provisional P1, and unless the penalty gets removed. Used to be P3. Great race from him with that damage. It's a little bit way back, but up first is P4. In that beaten up BMW. I didn't know that was him. So yeah, great race from him with a beaten up M4. Obviously Pryor now in the final corner. Very consistent race from him. It's a great finish to P5. And obviously Harry, you've gained a fair few amount of positions to finish in P6.
Yeah, I mean, what a race that was. Packed with action. And yeah.
Yep, definitely. Obviously you got Jacob here in P7. I've seen that Porsche a few times. Definitely some great battles. Obviously Kelly, a few incidents today, but still some great recovery driving and some racing. Obviously Patrick P9. Again, we've seen them quite a lot today. Jermiel as well, obviously on that late unfortunate spin, but still great racing today. and then Adrian in P11. Still great racing. And then obviously you got the two Ferraris that we've seen today, constantly battling. Gabriel as well. You've seen them quite a lot today involved. Actually, I think the one person I didn't speak about today was probably Mark. He's actually had a relatively quiet race, and he's going to finish. And he's actually the only one yet to finish on according to race control. And that wing is not straight. That is not. The engineers at Maranello will not be happy with that. That is not a way a wing should look. If anyone's looking to put a wing on their car, do not look at the stream, because that is how you do it incorrectly. I have no idea how he's managed that. I presume he's probably spun and gone into the back of a barrier somewhere. But you can see he's being boxed in by Alpersis and Newsby. So we'll leave them to it. But yeah, I mean, it's been a great race from everyone today. I mean, that's probably one of the best races I've seen in terms of action. So, and you can see Mark has unfortunately ended Newsby. Newsby has now been put away into the barrier. But yes, obviously, Mark will come across to finish P20. I think, well, it says P20. I'm confused. Race control's telling me different things. Okay, P19. There you go. But obviously, you can see a few drivers that didn't finish today. Sam, that number 16, McLaren, Hanak, not finishing today's race after some great battles from them as well. Unfortunate, but we'll hope to see them next time. And I believe that'll be all from me, unless Harry has anything to add to the ending of the race.
Yeah, nothing else to add to that really. It's a great start to career. Looking forward to more races like that. As the drivers are saying, it's been an incredible race, lots of battles. And to be honest, for the most part, it's been kept fairly clean. I don't know if you have anything more to say about the Robinson as you were on the stewarding.
There were a few issues with blue flags, but generally it was quite clean. Just two cars under the blue flag. Just drive predictably and stick to your racing line. You'll get past. So, yeah.
Yeah, that all sounds about to be expected. To be honest, with career and stuff, it attracts some of the drivers that are new to ACC, new to sim racing, so they might not be fully aware of the rules and stuff. But all easily correctable, and well, there's 39 races to go, so
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll leave it like this. Obviously, make sure you join in for the next stream of career mode. Obviously, great races, and make sure you get yourself signed up as soon as possible, because cars are going literally so quickly. You want to get your hands on a car, basically. So yeah, thank you very much. Goodbye.